Hey everybody, welcome back. So today we are going to be doing the last two businesses we need to do to test for the M1 locations, the jewelry store and the electronics store. I know it's been pretty much an entire week since you've watched one of my videos and since I put out a video, really. I apologize for that, but my life has been pretty hectic and I'll explain it at the end of the video for you. But of course, guys, I really appreciate you sticking around and all the support you guys have given me. It's been amazing. But if you guys haven't done so yet, if you're watching, you haven't subbed yet, go ahead and hit that sub button. I'd really appreciate it. I'd love to have you guys along for every ride that we go on together, be it big ambitions or anything in the future. And of course, if you liked the video in the end, give it a thumbs up. That would super help out. And as you probably can tell here, I've got no hat on today. It is too damn hot. Now, I'll probably say that a couple more times here, but it is too damn hot here in Michigan. And I just can't do the hat right now, but it will be back, I promise. Anyway, guys, stay tuned and let's get started. All right, guys, let's get started. So today we are going to be doing two of the final businesses we need to work on. So we have the jewelry store and the electronics store to do today. We're going to start with the jewelry store. Very straightforward, very easy place to work at. They only have four main products, which is the cheap and expensive jewelry and then the Artifish and Xanaman smartwatches. Pretty easy setup, to be quite honest. Also, I'm sure you're probably noticing, where's my hat? It's hot. It is 90 plus degrees in Michigan right now, and I'm in an old house and it is just ridiculously hot. I'm not gonna wear my hat today. So my trademark hat is not on. Sorry, guys. Anyway, aside from that, it's I'm pretty sure this place is going to do relatively well, but not nearly as well as the electronics store is going to end up doing for us. But let me get this place set up. We'll take a look and see what the interior looks like and go from there. See you in just a second. All right, guys, so the interior is complete. Again, just super basic. We have all the appropriate appliances or shelving, whatever you want to call it, just so we can see it here. Per capacity 75, perfectly fine. Doing good there. So we just need to make a schedule. I am going to do 8 to 12 again. I still don't understand why it says 12 p.m. Clearly a bug, but we will have all this completed and ready for people to come in here. So we just need to start hiring on, which I'll take care of, as well as getting the logistics part done. But my guess on this particular business, it's going to sit somewhere between probably the supermarket and potentially the hair salon, depending. It's really depending. I mean, right now, let's make sure we're setting these prices here. Again, I'm just going to go with, like last time, just the lowest market price that shows up on the board here. We're just going to keep it straightforward. Very easy. We only have 4 products to sell anyway, so I'm not expecting this business to generate a lot of customers, but it should generate a lot of profit. Just because, I mean, look at the pricing. But it's also probably one of the highest cost entry businesses you can possibly do, simply because of the jewelry itself. But that's not what we're really testing on. We're just going to test the profitability of this business inside an M1 location, which will be accomplished here. But let me get the people hired on and let me get the logistics set, and we will start with day one. All right, guys, day one is complete. So let's see how we did. So with everything said and done, we made a total profit of $28,552. Again, I'm including all of the expenses we have, but the actual business itself made a profit of $54,138.23 with a revenue of $78,194.16. We have no theft, thankfully. We definitely sold the vast majority, has been definitely sold with cheap jewelry. I mean, that's, unfortunately, it is what it is. But this is our first day as usual, so we're not going to see a massive amount of profit or mass amount of customers even. I mean, look at this. We maxed out at 19 customers at 7 p.m. As always, first day is always not really the best, but it is interesting to see how each business starts out. And this one probably has started the absolute slowest thus far. Like 7 customers at 10, 7 at 11, 12, 8 at 1. I mean, this is pathetic. Really not good. I really believe that this is one of those businesses where marketing's just going to kill it for us. So we just need to reach a day 10 at this point, see what it looks like overall and what the actual typical volume is of this business, especially being in Midtown with the pricing and obviously the capacity per hour, etc. So I'm expecting these numbers to shift, comparatively speaking, probably dramatically, but really I'm expecting maybe topping out at, honestly, probably 30 customers an hour at the absolute most. It's probably gonna be around this time too, just after 5 o'clock. So we'll see how that looks. All right, folks, it is now day 10. So what are we looking at? Well, right now we're looking at roughly a little bit better on the customers over time. Still not as well as I thought it'd be, but hey, at least we topped over 40 per hour here over on, what was that? 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock? I don't know, somewhere around there. My eyes aren't working just right, but yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah, it looks like 5, 6, and this is 7 here. So yeah, we're doing all right here, but the rest of the day is kind of iffy. But income wise, not too bad, to be quite honest. We're making $150,060.60 in profit with revenue of $204,446.90. You can see here the days are relatively random. Revenue seems to jump when it hits the weekend. Wednesdays, and this has been across the board, by the way, for all businesses, Wednesday is like the worst possible day, and it still holds true in this business as well. And I'm not sure why, but as it stands, we're looking at a profit between, as you see here, 91,000 all the way to 150,000. So it's all right. It's not bad. If we look at the rivals board, it has us at number 8 because it's also including all the expenses we have from all the rented buildings. But in reality, if we just had this one place, our weekly income would be $941,217, which would actually put us all the way at number 5 for the rivals board with this one business, which is not too bad. 941, not too bad. Let's be honest, it's actually pretty decent for what it's doing. I mean, imagine if it had the customers of a burger joint. We would be slammed and be making 10 times as much, to be quite honest. However, it's still got room for improvement. So let's get the marketing up and running. As usual, we'll do it together. Oh, I forgot we're on Sunday, so I'll have to do this tomorrow. We'll fast forward the day here together so that we can get that done together. We're gonna get hit by negative interest rates, but I don't care. All right, it is the next day for us, so let's get back in there and get that marketing going. So we want all the billboards. Give me every single billboard in existence so that I may blanket New York City with jewelry ads, because that's all people need is jewelry. There is no other purpose in life other than having jewelry and attaining jewelry and keeping jewelry and selling jewelry. All right, guys, so we're going to start today as the first full day with marketing. Even though we are 2 hours into the day, I still think it's okay. I don't think it's going to bother it too much, but I will meet back with you guys here on day 42, which is 20 more days of full business, and we'll see where we sit. See you in a second. All right, guys, so we are back. It is day 42. We have day 41 on the board right here, right now. We made a revenue of $261,247.10. Profit of $183,571. You can see down here, excuse me, we have Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. So once again, Wednesday is the dip. It's always going to be the dip. Instead of a hump day, it's a dump day. So not too bad. So marketing did help. let me start with that. Marketing did help. You can see here, we now start topping off at 55 customers per hour instead of the 46. However, the differences are not large. So I was expecting a little bit more than this, but it's clearly not gonna impact it too much. It did help. Now, if we look at the rivals board, we are still at number 8, but our weekly income is actually 1.187 million for this business, which is better than some other businesses that we've done. And with as little customers as it gets, it's kind of surprising, to be quite honest. Now, would I necessarily put a jewelry store in an M1 location? Maybe. Maybe if it was here in Midtown like we've been testing. If it's in like Lower Manhattan or Murray Hill, no, I would not. I would save that for something else. Really, you're only going to be successful, personal opinion here, obviously, you're only going to be successful in Midtown with a jewelry store and only in Midtown. The other places I don't think are worth having a jewelry store in an M1 location. Reserve that for your C1, C2s, maybe even the A1, A2s, to be quite honest, and leave them there. I really don't think that there's too much value elsewhere other than Midtown for jewelry stores. So that being said, it's still overall a pretty decent business. Again, 1.1 million, it's not bad. And again, with only 55 customers max per hour, we're not even remotely getting close to the full capacity per hour. So I'm gonna give it kind of a thumbs up, maybe like a thumb side thumbs. Not bad. It's not bad. All right, guys, I got to reset everything and we are going to get the electronics store started. And this one's going to be a vastly different business. And it's hopefully going to be the best business out of all of them. I guess we'll see here pretty shortly. All right, guys, so we have the electronics store open. It has no interior yet or anything, but I just wanted to point out primarily we're going to be selling electronics. Obviously, we're going to be selling Artifish phones, smartwatches, Noise Boss earbuds, Rhythm by Trays, Animan phones, and smartwatches. We do have the ability to sell soda cans. I'm going to do it. Might as well. Whatever. So we just need to get the place filled in, ready to go. I might do a blueprint. In fact, why don't we search for one together? By the way, I named it Delo's Radio Shack. Gotta love Radio Shack, guys. Not whatever the hell its current iteration is. That's an abomination, to be quite honest. I'm talking about the days when you'd go in for parts, for small toys, electronics, little like RC cars and stuff. You know, your stereo systems, old Tandy computers, etc. When it was actually a cool store. And, you know, I worked there at the latter stages of its life, and it was really, really fun. I had a lot of fun with the people I worked with, and I kind of miss it sometimes. It was a really fun job, but it is what it is. Times change, so let's look at the blueprints that are available to us. We're going to look at the M1 location here, and we're going to be doing electronics stores. And let's see, what do we got? Lots of different options here. I'm not terribly concerned about what the true interior is with, like, you know, all the random stuff, but this looks promising. I'm wondering, will this cover all of our bases? And I'm thinking that's going to be the case. So why don't I add that to my library, get it downloaded, and we will meet back up when that is installed. All right, guys, so the interior is installed from Christian Behood with the blueprint that we chose. Not too bad. I did get rid of 2 candy canes that were over here. They didn't have soda cans available for this place, so I'm also going to change the interior because it's still a score of only 95%, and we want to keep it completely congruent here. So let's make sure that's walls. Oops. Let's make sure we have this going on here. Pretty sure that's why it's at where it's at. Yep. There we go. So now we're at 100% in the interior. Perfect. So we just need to get everything squared away with logistics. We got to get the right people hired, and then we'll just go from there. So I will see you guys here on day 1. All right, everybody. Day 1 is in the books. We made $162,354.10 in revenue with $130,000 in profit. Not too bad. We still have theft. That means that the blueprint is not doing its job in preventing theft, so that's a little annoying. But you can imagine if we didn't have theft, we would be making $132,000. So we're just going to track that as we do our numbers here in the future. I'm not going to bother with it right now, to be honest. It's just kind of pointless. Sitting on the rivals board, we are at negative 29 million per week. It doesn't make any sense to look at this anyway, but not too bad. Let's look at the yesterday's customers. We tapped out at 15. But we still made more money than the jewelry store on day one. That makes sense, actually. Having all this inventory plus the soda cans probably helps quite a bit, but not too bad on that front there. Let's see what day 10 brings us, and I'm gonna guess that we're gonna be looking at probably, this is gonna top out at around 35. I'm feeling by day 10, 35 is going to be our max customers over time per hour, I should say. And we're probably going to look at around 150, 160,000 in sales per day. But let's see if that guess is right. All right, day 10 has arrived. So let's take a look at where we sit. So we made $263,159.80 yesterday. Not too bad on the revenue front, which means we made a profit of $214,335. Theft has risen, so bear that in mind. So we're probably closer to about 218,000 without the theft, but it's probably gonna be a little bit less because we would have to have more security guards. So kind of a little bit of washout. You can get a rough idea. Over 200,000. So let's look at the actual customers over time here. As usual, day 17 has a dip because it is Wednesday. However, yesterday we had 152 customers total, but it actually only topped out at 18. 18 customer top out. Yet we made 195,000 in profit altogether for all the rental units plus our income from this business here. So as I thought, very, very, very strong. Electronic stores are absolutely positively strong. Look at this. We are number 3 with everything considered. If we didn't have any of the other places that we're renting, we're at 1.4 million per week for this business, which is just nutty. It's really good. Electronic stores are absolutely positively one of the best type of stores you can put in M1 location, let alone in Midtown for sure. But I mean, this is without marketing. Let's take a look and see what we can get with marketing and see if it makes a big difference or not. So let's, as usual, let's get together and get all the billboards we possibly can. And let's hope that not only does it make up for it, but we also end up making even more on top of it. The cost versus the income generated, of course, is what I'm speaking to. But yeah, let's see what day 30 brings us. So this will end up being day 42 for us when we'll meet back up, and let's see what happens. I'm gonna say that we're gonna go from having a max out at 18 on the preceding Sunday to probably about 27, 28, I would say, probably around there. But I'm gonna expect that this 195, or I guess I should say more accurately, this 214, I'm gonna assume that's probably gonna bump up to around 250, 260,000. So let's see what happens and judge it from there. All right, everybody, it is now day 30. Where do we sit? So as I thought, so first off, revenue wise, $341,639. Now, theft has obviously gone up. We are now sitting at $267,677.30 in actual profit. And I would say take maybe 5,000 of this theft amount, add that to this, we're at 272. That'd be my rough guess. And you know, honestly, 272,000 per day, I mean, I'll take it. I mean, it's obviously not per day, but you can still see this is our dip. It's always our dip. 216,000 was our dip. So it's, I mean, sky's the limit, theoretically, not literally, for the electronics store. Where does that actually place our customers per hour? Well, we went up to 23. I mean, it's not a drastic difference. It made somewhat of a difference, but it clearly made a difference in the profit by far. I mean, we met what we wanted, or what I imagined what we would get. So, I mean, clearly marketing is, first off, excellent for this business. It added more than enough and made up for everything as well. So that's the first thing. Second thing, put your damn electronic stores in M1 locations in Midtown. There is no doubt in my mind that this is some of the best that you could possibly get out of an M1 location, which also, by the way, we would, oh man, I cannot believe seeing this. If we had just this singular location, we'd be making 1.8 million per week from the electronics store at an M1 location in Midtown. So, I mean, it goes to show that really this still is, even with the nerfs, still is king. Then I would say hair salons next, and then maybe, I don't know. Why don't we take a look and see what the comparison looks like here? So comparing all the businesses here, we see a pretty variable difference amongst all the businesses, obviously, but we do see a pretty clear-cut winner in all this. And I was mistaken on the electronic store being top dog. I don't know why I didn't remember this, but the hair place did way better than I remember, honestly. So obviously hair is top dog, followed by electronics, then clothes, and then surprisingly books. I'm still surprised by that, to be quite honest. And then the jewelers, liquor stores, floral shops, another surprising one. Supermarket being at 8 is also equally surprising, as even, you know, the bookstore being where it's at, because you know, you look at the supermarkets inside Midtown and they do an insane amount of business, but then, you know, we do it ourselves and it ends up doing, you know, it's all right. It's not great. Well, then followed by that is fast food, which also kind of surprised me that it didn't do as well as I thought it would at the time. And then fruit and vegetable stores, which did get a little bit of a buff, but clearly not enough to really make it super profitable versus the rest of these businesses. And then it kind of drops off quite a bit. We go down to the coffee shop at 113,000, but then we get to the nightclub and it's, you know, just eking by over the gift shop at 86,000. And finally, our original business, you know, if we all play the campaign or the, you know, the normal non-sandbox mode, we all start with the gift shop. And unfortunately for it, it is only making, with our testing, 83,000 a day. Or at day 30 at least. So, you know, it's a little bit surprises here and there, but in the end, you know, hair and electronics were expected to be at the top still, even after everything's said and done. And, you know, that's exactly where they're sitting. And it kind of makes sense, unfortunately. But, you know, in the end, I think it makes it clear that your best bets for M1 locations, your top 4, are going to be pretty good money makers for you. And, you know, really in the end, you can't go necessarily wrong. They all make a pretty decent profit. It's just a matter of really how much profit are you looking for your M1 stores to make for you. And if you really want to maximize it, stick with hair and electronics, clothes, and books. All right, guys. Well, that does it for me on this testing run. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Are you surprised where the businesses sat in the rankings, or, you know, does it kind of make sense to you? Let me know. I'd be honestly interested to see what you guys think. And, you know, what do you guys typically do in your M1 locations? Do you do the most profitable? Do you all have hair salons in all of your M1 locations, or do you just play how you want to play? Do you role play? Stuff like that, you know. Do you make all liquor stores like I did? Silly things like that. I'd be very interested to hear what you guys have to say about that. And of course, as always, guys, I appreciate you watching. I am so sorry that it took so long to get this last video out, but as I explained in my community post, it has been a very, very hectic week for me. My real life job, it got a bit intense this past week, and it's still pretty intense right now. We got a lot going on, and it really took a lot of time out of me. And you know, driving across the state can get very tiring, especially when you're by yourself. It's a bit rough, but I'm glad to be home, and I'm glad to be back doing this. So I hope you guys enjoy, and of course, if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. I'd really appreciate it. It truly helps me out, and maybe one of these days in the future, the far future at this point, maybe I could turn this into a full-time job somehow. But for now, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And of course, thumbs up if you like it, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.